but I still fight doubt. And the only person that's finna stop me is me. But once I overcame that fight, can't nothing stop me. I can't die. I'm immortal. Rejected, neglected, I feel disrespected. They told me go left, I didn't learn the right lessons. Been hard on my grizzle, my hustle got deadly. Y'all rap about shit I done murdered already. Ain't changing my image, focused on my vision. Hard-headed, don't listen, fake love, I ain't with it. This path I'm committed, slip up but ain't tripping. My mind always spinning, ain't talking about vision. Just run me, my digits go broke, I ain't limping. It ain't come to me, so I had to go get it. I came from a city with niggas, it's vicious. The love be fictitious, see hate from a distance. It made me a fighter, got pushed to my limits. I took a few L's and then got so discouraged. With God as my witness, from whence I was forged. No golden gate bridge, but I came back a warrior. I came back immortal, invincible even. My faith is much higher than what you believe in. They wanted me gone on my soul, I ain't leaving. Spoke life into every verse you receiving. My music lives on when my bones turn to dust. There's power in words, so bitch you should hush. My mind overflowing in lyrical floods. Fuck building an art, you gon' need you a sub. I rose through the pavement, I stand on my morals. Been stabbed in the heart, now my scars are enormous. I took all your stones and created a fortress. Been fighting off demons that constantly torment my mind, and my thoughts are a little abnormal. Been crossing out squares that won't fit in my circle. Can't kill what I said, and this verse is eternal. With God on my side, I can't die, I'm immortal. Creation, destruction, the cosmos erupting. My mind kicked off track of the train I'm conducting. Came out of
the officials are ready. The fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, and world championship titles in a record 8 different weight division, guarantees his place in the Hall of Fame. He's recognized and known the world over as the people's champion.
My name is D-Nice, D-Nice. My name is D-Nice, D-Nice. My name is D-Nice, taking out your suckers and yeah, and you don't stop.
Yo, what's good, everybody? What's good? It is I, your favorite light-skinned host. And again, we back at it again. Once again, it is November 5th. Man, time is flying by in this last quarter. It's November 5th, 2023. A day you've never been in before, and a day you'll never be in it again. And for those who are participating in daylight savings, guess what just happened? Your clocks went back the other night while you were asleep. So you gained an hour of sleep. Hopefully you be well rested. Hopefully your mind is rejuvenated and impressed and ready to go forward. And let's get to it. I mean, honestly. So there still is a lot of talks about the one and only Kevin Samuels, aka the Godfather, Mr. KS, Mr. Too Clean, whatever they called it. You know, there's a lot of names they called it. And I just wanted to kind of take a look at some of the body of work that he had, that he's done, and kind of have a breakdown. And in this open discussion, there's a link there if you're on YouTube. Come on up, give your tidbits, you know what I mean? There's that. And I just wanted to dive into his work and see what was said that wasn't, that I didn't judge, that I did judge, that I underjudged, that I overjudged. Boy, so it's a self-check if I really had an issue. And I never really had an issue with Kevin. I always thought he said and he spoke where he came from, you know, and all that. But we're going to check him out. So a video I got pulled up for us that I'm going to share is him calling in on a podcast and having a discussion. And so for the one time, let's go ahead and run it back and see what they can say about it. Yeah, I want to do that.
I'll track down Sambada's thing.
All right, here we go.
I've been here for a few minutes. Hey guys, how we doing?
We're good, Kevin. How are you?
Good. So the ladies are in the middle. Her name is Sable.
Amanda, but close enough.
Amanda. The woman to her right, your name is
Adriana.
Adriana, and the woman to your left,
Janina.
Janina. Okay, one of the things I kept hearing, my name is Kevin Samuels, by the way, nice to meet you. One of the things I kept hearing is the notion of fairness. Why is that so important to you, Amanda?
I hate to admit it, but I do. Like, I'm half a man. I'm just a pretty.
Okay. So before we go, one thing I want to take notice of was the fact that he introduced himself, even though he is what would be considered a polarizing figure, a man of controversy, right? Takes the time to introduce himself and gives them the opportunity to introduce themselves. So there goes the common courtesy, which is it's given. That's respect before all else is ever done. So I give him kudos on that. And then we hear the commentary from the woman that claims to be half a man. Let's go for it.
Pretty girl, and I don't think that I should have to accept less in life because I was born with different equipment. I think that's bullshit.
Well, if you're half a man, then you should understand this full concept that men don't care about fair.
I don't have to care about fair either.
No. Men don't care about fair, or else we wouldn't conquer other people.
Mm.
You're of European descent. Looks like you're from. Your people are from the Caucasus Mountains. European descent. So,
I am very white. Yes,
that's fine. And some of them, and there's a lot, and between a lot of warring tribes, Germania, the Franks. If we cared about fairness, we would just let everybody stay on their land. Vikings wouldn't have raided and pillaged. England would have stayed on its island. Scotland would have been all right. Ireland would have been all right. Matter of fact, Hong Kong wouldn't have been a British protectorate for how many years? Oh, until the last, 30 or 40? Men don't care about fair. We conquer. It's winners and losers.
Straight up.
Right? You're half a man.
I didn't know that only men were part of conquering.
Well, name me some great female warriors that have dominated the planet.
Well, I mean, I'm learning new education here, which is only men conquer.
No.
I mean, that's what you're telling me, right?
All right. So here's the situation with this. This is what I'm noticing. He's having an open discussion, a dialogue, and she takes defense and she maintains it. She doubled down instantly. This one wasted no time on doubling down. It's like, all right, you what is your purpose at this point? What are you doing at this point? You know, you already stated you're half a man, and therefore you want some man to accept you, when a lot of men are not really looking to be with another man or half a man. So that's going to take you out a lot of equations on that part. But what is really the basis of your position? You know, that's what I'm trying to get to understand. And it's, only this was done under that and that and the third is like, okay, well, that's fine. That's all well and good. But let's hear what has to be said.
No, well, see what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to switch that. I'm asking about fairness. And I said about fairness. Why is fairness so important? You said because you're half a man.
Because if you expect something of me, I should be allowed to expect the same of you. And if you can't offer me that, you don't deserve to be in my life.
But that has nothing to do with fairness. You're of European.
Wait. All right. So I messed
You're of European, 30 or 40?
Okay. So she says that if you're allowed to have expectations of me, I'm allowed to have expectations of you. All right. Given, right? Nothing wrong with that. But let's be honest. What is expectations? It's a fair realization there. It's false wishes. It's false hope. There's a lot of people expecting to live tomorrow. That's not a thing you can really just go off of. So out the gate, she's not in the batting cage pretty strong. She's just swinging for absolutely nothing. But you know, and he's still being very patient. He's still being very calm, and he's still being very respectful. Initially,
Men don't care about fair. We conquer. It's winners and losers.
Straight up.
Right? You're half a man.
I didn't know that only men were part of conquering.
Well, name me some great female warriors that have dominated the planet.
Well, I mean, I'm learning new education here, which is only men conquer.
No.
I mean, that's what you're telling me, right?
No, well, see what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to switch that. I'm asking about fairness. And I said about fairness. Why is fairness so important? You said because you're half a man.
Because if you expect something of me, I should be allowed to expect the same of you. And if you can't offer me that, you don't deserve to be in my life.
But that has nothing to do with fairness.
It has everything to do with fairness.
No, fairness means you get an opportunity. Fairness doesn't mean you get an outcome.
Oh my
yeah.
You get an interview, not guaranteed a job.
No, you're not. But I work very, very hard to ensure that I keep.
The man missed his calling as a rapper. That was a cold bar, if I ever heard one. Fairness means you get an opportunity, not an outcome. That's some cold truth right there. Like, I don't care who you are, what you think you want to be, what you think you are. That's a hard fact right there that a lot of people have to swallow. Even myself, as I sit here and hear this, it's like, yeah, I want things to be fair. But when I say that, I have to come to the grips with that doesn't guarantee an outcome, only an opportunity. Jesus.
Well, if that's the case, you should. If that's the case,
right?
If that's the case, then if that's the case, you should be able to secure the things you want. So you should have no problem.
Obviously not. Not when men are out here believing like you don't have to be fair.
Well, those two things can't exist in the same place.
Women haven't even been part of human history. It's just men and all.
All right. So here's the situation with this one. Her claim to be half a man, and then she blames men. You have to pick what side of the fence you're gonna be on. But again, Kevin's still maintaining integrity, still being level-headed. He's using what they call soft skills. So therefore, that's his corporate background coming to the forefront of a situation of trying to resolute conflict before it becomes overwhelming. He's exemplary. He's exemplary, like when it comes to that. He does that, and then it gets to a point where his patience is, a little snappy, but he's still very calm in the situation. Let's continue, yo.
All we care about is conflict.
Well, no. You just said you work very hard, so you should get the outcomes. See, if hard work was all that required, then we would almost be guaranteed. Hard work gets you a ticket to the dance. It doesn't guarantee you the top spot. How many? Who lost the Super Bowl, guys?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Can you say they worked hard this year?
Very hard.
Number 2. Men don't worry about fairness. We worry about winning. And to the victor goes the spoils. Just like, you know what? How many times you've gotten to a club into VIP for free when some ugly chicks had to pay full price?
Is that my fault?
Oh. No. I've asked how many times.
Now. She said, is that my fault? When clearly he was pretty clear about the question he was asking, and we still maintaining the subject of fairness. So when it comes down to the fairness being given an opportunity to someone else to enjoy getting into the club for free, oh, now it's no. Is that my fault? So there's a lot of Lord. There's a lot of misdirections going on with this one. But let's continue.
Sometimes it happened before you go down that path.
I mean, plenty of times in Miami.
Exactly, but that's not fair, is it?
Well, please don't forget I'm not from here.
But that's not the point, ma'am. That's not fair, is it?
I also don't care about those things.
But so you only care about fairness when it doesn't benefit you.
I just don't go to clubs that often.
But that's not the point. I asked you, how many times you've gone to a club where you got in free, where ugly chicks or less attractive chicks had to pay? And you know that's happened. You didn't say, I'm still, excuse me, sir. Even though I'm attractive, I demand that you charge me full price. That's fair, right?
Okay, so because I
fair?
into places and get
that fair?
That means that I should get
fair. Before we go there, I'll answer your question if you at least answer mine. Is that fair?
Life isn't fair.
Well, if that's the case, you accept it in the sexual marketplace too.
It doesn't mean I have to accept other people.
Bingo. She literally just answered her own question. Life isn't fair. But she contradicts herself through this whole exchange thus far. And again, Kevin's being said to not have had discussions with women who are not black, not having discussions, and he's doing this very thing, and he's done it several times. And I'm just basically trying to check myself while watching this. But I did pick up on that bar that he dropped earlier, that fairness is an opportunity, not an outcome. That was a bar. And listen, I got to give a man credit where it's due. You know what I mean? If you was looking at his tone and his assertiveness, well, he was being a man, and he's being a man from a certain standard. And you cannot have a projection of men of certain standards and want them to be something you want them to be. That don't work that way. It just doesn't. You can't have a man and say, I want you to be a power lifter, a successful power lifter, but only weak around me physically. Like, what? No, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Let's continue with this debacle.
People's bullshit.
No. Well, see, the thing is, ma'am, see what you've proven, like many feminists and many women, you're okay with the double standards that benefit you. But the ones you don't like, you just throw at the wind, use sign language, shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right to deflect and dismiss guys who are normally intimidated by this thing. I'm not. I'm just challenging your position. You're okay with it not being fair when it benefits you.
You're oversimplifying a very complex situation.
No, it's not really complex. There are no such thing as loyal.
You're oversimplifying a complex situation. Listen, in life, there's really not that much complexity. It's just not. You will or you won't. You do and you don't. It just comes down to those things. And there can be certain obstacles that's in the way or certain things that may delay certain processes. But for the most part, nothing's really ever that much complicated. You're oversimplifying a complicated situation, which is fairness. And you want to be half a man, but you don't want to have to deal with what men deal with. Then when it comes down to the fairness and equality of women, and he asks a simple question about women, ugly women getting into the club, you are not for that either. So you don't have no real basis on what side of the fence you're really just standing on. Again, you just swinging your bat empty. Like, this is crazy.
Well, the concept of a loyal, highly effective, competitive alpha is a female notion.
And have to continue to compete with other pretty girls because men are too simple to stick with one.
Well, how about this? The kind of men you're talking about are simple enough to make the light you live in, the air conditioning, all the stuff that you, hold on, excuse me, ma'am. The simple men built the world that you use.
I built my own world. So
No,
again,
ma'am, you use the world we built. No, ma'am, you use the world men built. Name me 5 great female inventors. I'll give you one. Madame Curie.
I can't believe you. So you're telling me that men and
No, ma'am, I just asked you a question, and you just no. You go see. You're answering questions with questions. You
Well,
talking about building. Name me 5 great female inventors or builders. Madame Curie.
5 inventors or builders? That's a really great question. That really.
Man, she's just being sarcastic. She don't have a leg to stand on. She's already all over the place as far as her logic and her emotions. She's not unified within self. She's just basically talking to be talking. And at this point, I don't even really see if there's any real need to continue to go on with this one, because she doesn't want to reason. It's better to be foolish for this one than it is just to have a plausible understanding of the situation, come to a common ground, even to a point of, hey, listen, I don't understand where you're coming from. You don't understand where I'm coming from. She's not willing to do that. She just wants to be combative because she has a lot of internal things of whatever. Call it anger, call it hurt, call it misguided, whatever. But there's a lot of internal things going on to where you just want to combat, and you don't even have a steady response. So I don't even know if I want to continue this video, because I've seen this before, but I didn't realize how bad off she was in the video. And I really wanted to watch this just to basically check myself to see, did I overjudge Kevin? Did I underjudge Kevin? But I'm looking at him like, no, I was absolutely right. He was a non-biased individual that didn't care. Like, if you were a man saying the same stuff that this woman said, he was going to get the same treatment. You just was going to get the same treatment. And I'm not sure if that one needed even to continue to go for him, man. That was just crazy. Miss Bitch, who win an argument? Well, nobody, because it really wasn't an argument. It was a man trying to have an understanding with somebody that claimed to be half a man. And from being half a man to talking about what's fairness. And Kevin clearly said one of the best things I ever heard was, fairness is an opportunity, not an outcome. That was real. That was real. And that I had to apply that to myself when I had to think about it, like, damn, when it comes to being fair, am I looking at it for what it is? And the truth of the matter, a lot of times I was not looking at fairness for what it is. I was looking at fairness for an outcome and not the opportunity. Damn. It bees that way. It bees that way. Well, let's see, man. Let's see what else we can get. Because that was not it. She obviously, like I say, just didn't do well. Oh, find something else. All right. So we got something else from Godfather himself. And he's talking to the guys, which is another thing that was said, that he didn't talk to guys, and all he did was ever really talk to guys. He started off talking to guys. A lot of stuff just wasn't spoken about. Going to Popeyes. Hey, get that red beans and rice. Don't get the chicken sandwich though. Don't do that. Red beans and rice. Bring back Popeyes too. I'm hungry as fuck too. But while you go, we'll keep going. So, bro is gonna be talking to the guys on this one, and we just gonna see when it comes down to it. How fair is he?
Hey, what's your question?
My question is how to identify lioness.
Well, again, you're young. You have identified lioness. She, by her mindset.
As far as mindset,
Mindset.
what
Well,
are the qualities?
okay. No, I don't mean this to sound insulting. Go look at National Geographic and look at what lionesses do. When lions are gone, they watch the territory, watch the kids, they hunt, they do everything else. They hold stuff down, but when a lion comes around, they demure everything else. They're social. You identify a lioness by how she interacts with other women, and also women who aren't always just about fun. These women have to be working. A worker mindset. One of the most key things I said is if women want to talk about relations with men in terms of easy, fun, luxury, no stress, no pressure, that is a woman you don't want to deal with because she doesn't want to deal with the real things in life. But you're still kind of young for this question, but I'm going to answer it because it can help other people. I'm assuming you believe you're a lion.
The only reason why I would say that is because I started a pride young.
Okay.
Oh, this guy. Listen, this guy holds no punches. You hear me? Listen, I don't really need any of that. I don't really need any of that. The only chicken sandwich I want it from my grandma. That's it. I'm not buying no restaurant's chicken sandwich because they horrible. I'm from down south and I have no business buying chain chicken sandwiches. Had that girl said something around there, you know, I've been like, all right, I see what she's saying, but she didn't. But again, hold no biases, man. Look, my man is sitting there and the guy says, listen, I started my own pride, kind of. And Kevin just immediately went to the eye roll like, dude, what the fuck? Let's keep it going, though.
Okay, well, in my schema, you started something. Don't know if you're a lion or a tiger yet, but I'm not going to. Are you married?
No, sir. I dealt with a hyena.
How many kids do you have?
Oh, why is my man's referring to himself and other people in the terminology of the animal kingdom? This is social media doing this. Then this is why a lot of proper things, proper terminology cannot be used. Never mind, y'all. Let's keep going.
3.
What do you do for a living?
Huh?
What do you do for a living? What's your career?
Currently, I don't have a career. I work from home for a medical company.
You don't have a career? You don't work? You're an employee?
No, I have a job. I don't have a career yet. That's what I'm looking to get into right now.
Now that he did answer correctly. I have a job, not a career. I gotta give him credit for that. However, the whole animal reference, dude's not a bad looking dude. Gotta give him his credit. Brother's out here, pretty decent looking, but you're foolish, boy. You're foolish.
How many hours a week are you working?
Currently right now, 40, 45 if I can get some overtime. Single father.
Okay, this is gonna sting, young man. Hold on.
I'm ready for it.
What the fuck are you doing on YouTube? You should have a part-time job with no kids.
I have to watch them, so I have to work from home. I would, believe me. I didn't work multiple jobs.
You have to watch. Are all the children by the same woman?
They're all around the same age, 6, 4, and 2.
Are they all from the same woman?
2 from one from one other. So no.
All right. Kevin has given this man the grace to answer simple questions, and he just can't do it. And this is why men need to be dealing with men so they don't answer questions in this type of manner. But as you see, the frustration is starting to boil up. And he's talking to a man in the same manner that he's talked to these women. But Kevin always there with the man. So, let's see.
So if I'm hearing this correctly, you completed high school?
Yes, sir.
But didn't go to college?
No, sir. I dropped out.
Do you have a trade?
No, that's what I'm looking to get into right now.
Looking to get into. Do you live with either one of these? Do you live with either of these women?
No. Me and my last son's mother split up.
Where do you live?
I live in Tampa.
With whom? With your mother?
No, I have my own apartment.
Okay. You need a roommate, and you need a trade this year. Are you still dealing with either one of the children's mothers sexually?
No.
Are you sexually active?
No. Trying to stay out of that realm.
When was the last time? Have you been sexually active in the last 12 months?
All right. Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Well, Buddy said no. That nigga was lying. He was lying his ass off. He just got out of some cheeks before he got on his live.
I'll be honest, young man. Your past has been sexually reckless. If you're going to be sexually active, you need to wear 2 condoms because you can't afford another kid. And with no trade, no profession, you are unskilled labor, minimum wage. And if you can't, now you're effectively working from home. You're effectively a wife because you keep the kids. So we're talking about how to identify lionesses. Why are you asking these questions?
If you've been a nurse for long enough, you're probably stressed, overworked, and
yeah. Two for two. Yeah. Buddy was genuinely unbiased. Buddy had no bias. I'm talking about, well, yeah, he definitely was. He definitely was. He definitely needed an army of brothers around him like so many of us do and did. It is important that men be around men. Highly important. Highly important. And I know a lot of women ain't gonna like to hear that because, you know, they have that. It sounds like it's taken away from them for some reason. And I don't understand that logic, but hey, however you see it, God bless. But men need to be around men. Point blank, period. That there is no way to dice that up any other kind of way. That's not being subjective. That's not innuendo. It's not being facetious or fictitious. That is pure on fact. Hey, true. I mean, don't get it twisted now. It's there's some sleaze balls that are doing very well in life. This is something that we got to get past because there is this notion that you have to be this quantifyingly great individual to be successful. That's not true. There's a lot of very kind-hearted people. They're not doing well. So I hear you what you're saying. Yes, that you need to be around people with direction for certain. You know what I mean? That does help. But yeah, we can't undermine truth because the truth of the variations is that, hey, there's good and bad and literally everything. So we're going to come down to it. Yeah, men with professions, absolutely. We want them to be upstanding citizens as well, if that's possible. If not, well, then we have to understand that, hey, what we're going to get from them is a lot of great information on how to succeed in in the work life aspect. Well, we come to education, we get really skewed views on education. It's only take this one thing and discard the rest. No, taking what you can take in and understand what's applied to you. And then what's not for you, hey, you know, you still have it there. You have the knowledge of it. You don't have to necessarily utilize it because if it's not for you, it's just not for you. But yeah, we gotta do better. Absolutely, it does. Absolutely, it does. All right, let's go one more. We 2 for 2. Kevin being unbiased. He's talked to a white woman who claimed to be half a man, who wanted fairness, but didn't want fairness for women that were not her. All right. Chop that down. Then he talks to a young man. He calls and he refers to himself and all this animal terminology. He refers to the woman of one of his kids as a hyena. And it was just all this Lion King talk, and he wanted to know how you identify a lioness. And Kevin immediately wasted no time, and he was just like, eye roll, like, dude, really? All right, let's go here. I'm here for it. No bias. No bias. Told the guy that he was, one, not working enough. 2, told him he need not have sex, and if he does, he needs to wear 2 condoms. This is Kevin talking to a man. Noticing the man couldn't answer simple questions. Are you living with anyone? This had the third, right? So I do give the brother kudos. Like I said, I had to give him kudos because he stated something. The guy asked him what type of career he had, and he's like, I don't have a career, I have a job. So that was correct. That was honest. Much respect for him for that. But show must go on. Let's see what else we can find in this world of good old Kevin. Good old Kevin. All right. We get him back up here. It's gonna be a short one. Not gonna be as long. And we're gonna get to it. All right, y'all. Here we go.
What's wrong with you?
To be honest, in my 20s, what I was doing was just dating for fun. Dating, I'm going to be really blunt, dating like, rappers, athletes. And by time I was ready to sit down, I was already in my 30s, and I'm like, oh shit. Like,
what do you mean dating rappers and athletes for fun? What do you mean exactly? Because it's not like everybody is just a pro athlete in your area. Oh, can't make this shit up. Yeah. All right. I had to pause because I was trying to make sense of it. I was trying to come clean with it. Let's wrap this up.
I've done give away my most precious years to just partying and being on a scene. And now that I'm in my 30s, I'm trying to date, and I really don't know what I like.
Keep going.
I'm trying to figure out what do I like, because for the past 4 years, I've been engaged twice, and they weren't the ones.
Have you been in therapy?
Yes, I'm in therapy now.
Let me ask you a question that you probably haven't asked yourself, because thank you for being honest, because I was going to get to it anyway. So,
but to be honest,
again, the man just didn't. He just didn't miss. 3 for 3. Non-biased. He just didn't miss. God rest his soul. God rest his soul. And a lot of people are going to be uncomfortable. Why would somebody like you like Kevin? Because he was authentic. He was real. He was genuine. He didn't hold a side. This is a man that we could have used for a lot of mediations. Oh, because it was done. It was done. It was a short. For those that don't see. It was a short. I'm sorry. I thought you heard me. It was a short. I didn't cut it off. It was a short. It was no more to it. Yeah, it was a YouTube short. But again, somebody we could have used in mediations and a whole lot of other things just to make people be accountable. You know what I mean? A lot of accountability could have been held, and certain situations, and a lot of accountability is not being held on either side. And here was a man that had no biases. He chopped them all down. And if you came that way with this fictitious fairy tale kind of ideology, you got chopped down. And it was time to move on and go to the next one. It was always a weird one for a weird one. Yeah, I mean, this is true, however. But if they start to multiply, well, then you can't ask, why are there no decent human beings? Because they become lessened. Right now, we still have an upside with decent human beings. There are actually more good people than the horrible people. Trust me when I say this. Trust me when I say this. There are actually more good people than horrible people. But if we keep that up, then, well, hell. Yeah. We already know the end of that story before it even was written. We've seen it and heard it, remixed it, chopped it, screwed it, barbecued it, sauteed it, gourmeted it. There isn't an angle where that story hasn't been done, and we already know the outcome to it. And a lot of that comes from people not wanting to face realistic measures, but always wanting somebody to be real with them. So in closing, my remarks on Kevin Samuels, God rest his soul. One thing about it is people that say, they never said he was lying. They would always say he's not lying. And I was like, okay, so what's the problem now? Well, it's his tone. But I thought you said he wasn't lying. You took the most insignificant thing and made it very significant. So you basically told the world in droves by so many other people that you prefer to be lied to in a very moderate tone versus being told the truth in a stern one. That makes me uncomfortable for humanity as a whole. When we choose lies over truth, but then say, I wish I had more honest people around me. And when they're here, the truth makes you uncomfortable. And that's the truth about the truth. It's not always fun. It's not always curating. It's not always whimsical. The truth is very ugly, harsh at times, uncomfortable, unwavering. It's truth. It's truth. It just is. Truth holds no bias. It's very loving at times. It's very cold at others. I think people place themselves in the same scenarios of people that gave advice instead of the truth. He was talking to the person, not you. I should have had a shot of whiskey on that one. That's some truth. Why were so many of y'all bothered by situations and scenarios that was not your own? It's a legit question, and you don't have to answer it. But you do have to ask yourself that question. Why would I be bothered with a situation that isn't my own? Now, if you're going to lie to anybody, you're going to lie to yourself. If you're lying to yourself, well, then you have to question your self-love. Without self-love, don't worry about any other self things. Self-esteem, self-integrity, self-preservation. Don't worry about none of these other things if you do not have self-love. Because if you're willing to lie to yourself and knowing you're lying to yourself without any help, we talk about a one-on-one discussion with self. If you're willing to lie to yourself, hey, just know a camel ain't got 4 legs. All right. All right, y'all. It's been a wonderful time. I'm going to close this thing out. Listen, have a wonderful, successful week. Sunday is the start of it. I don't know why so many people think Monday is the start of the week. Monday is the start of your work week, not the start of the week. I want you to have a wonderful week. So when we come back here and we reconvene, y'all come on up and you tell me how wonderful your week has been. All right. It'll be the 12th when we catch back up. Be a wonderful thing. I want you happy. I want you healthy. I want you whole. But I also want you honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself, y'all. It ain't gonna hurt you. The truth is just the truth. Don't be bothered by situations that's not your own.
The officials are ready. The fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first and world championship titles in a record 8 different weight division, guarantees his place in the Hall of Fame. He's recognized and known the world over as the people's champion.
My name is D-Nice. My name is D-Nice. My name is D-Nice. Taking out your suckers and yeah, and you don't stop.
Dungeon stepped into corruption. Don't know who to trust. How the fuck I'ma function? This deity trapped in this skin that I live in. They wanted a king since I fit the description. They tried to dethrone me, but I'm in position. I'll show you the wrath of a god from Olympus. You spoke on my name, bro. I thought we was different. Couldn't tie your own shoes. Guess that's why you still tripping. That bitch wasn't loyal. Guess karma's your mistress. It's hoes over bros. Guess you made your decision. That rat in my family ain't talking about splinter. I hope that you feel every verse I deliver. Cause hell done froze over. You think it was winter. If you thought for a second I wasn't gonna come get you. I think the Almighty made me in his image, dominion and power, protecting my children, call angels beside me. Now I'm in command, enlightenment all in the palm of my hand. This ain't what you pictured. I wasn't supposed to make it. I'm supposed to be 6 feet up under a pavement. They hate how you live, but show love when you die. Hope you feel the same way when I come back to life. I rose through the pavement. I stand on my morals. Been stabbed in the heart. Now my scars are enormous. I took all your stones and created a fortress. Been fighting off demons that constantly torment my mind, and my thoughts are a little abnormal. Been crossing out squares that won't fit in my circle. Can't kill what I said in this verse is eternal. With God on my side, I can't die, I'm immortal.